Heyo, I'm Colby from Sanitary Productions. We're back again with another G.I. Joe action figure review. In this episode, we're taking a look at the G.I. Joe Club Figure Subscription Service 7.0 Treadmark. This is a very cool figure here. It looks really nice on the package. For those of you that don't know, this figure was originally released back in the vintage line along with the Desert Fox 6-wheel drive vehicle. He went under a different name back then. He was known as Skidmark, but they kind of rebranded him, and he is now Treadmark, which is probably a good change, so I'm not going to fault them for that. For whatever reasons, you know, that actual name Skidmark has a little bit of a negative connotation nowadays. But it's the same character. Very cool looking. This is actually the first time we've ever had this figure carded, and it comes on a very nice looking card here. Some really nice new artwork featuring him leaning up against the actual Desert Fox there in the background. Very cool looking, very nice. Flip this over to the back side. We've got the same artwork kind of blown up a little bit here. The actual file card down here at the bottom. And we'll zoom in a little bit and see if you can pause that if you would like. And read through that if you would like for his bio. But let's go ahead and get this thing open and take a look at it. So I've got my handy dandy X-Acto knife here. And we're going to just ever so gently slice this card open. I am curious if any of y'all out there have any tips and tricks on how to better remove these bubbles from these cards. The X-Acto knife works pretty well, but you know, I've heard of some people using like a heat gun to melt the glue on the side and then pop these things out. So if you've had any experience with that, drop some comments down below to let us know. But for the time being, we're just going to go ahead and slide this guy out. And that leaves us with this really cool looking artwork that we'll set to the side over here. And we'll go ahead and zoom in real close here. And start getting this guy out. So we've got the actual figure itself. We've got a couple of different weapons here. We've got a nice little pistol here that is taped in. So just going to slice that tape off and pop that pistol out. We've got an assault rifle down here on the back that is also taped in. So we'll go ahead and slice that off too. Pop that guy out. We've got a cool knife here that is also taped in, if you hadn't figured that out by now. They kind of taped in all this guy's accessories. Come out. Cool knife. And we get the standard figure stand as well with this set. So set that to the side for the time being. Let's take a look first at the figure stand. We've got a traditional G.I. Joe modern era figure stand here. We've got the raised G.I. Joe logo on the top along with 2-foot pegs. The codename Treadmark on the side, and beyond that it's basically the same mold as everything else. So still pretty cool looking. I like that they are still including these things. These are great. Let's take a look at the accessories first here. We'll start with a little knife here simply because it's a small little knife. So not a lot of detail work, but they do have a nice paint job on it here. Flip this over to the side. You can kind of see little serration down here at the bottom. Overall, very nice looking. Kind of a basic knife though, so nothing really special there. The pistol we have is kind of the standard pistol that we've seen many times over, so nothing all new here. Some decent detail work going on in there, if you can get down and see that pretty easy. So basic pistol. And then we've got this really cool assault rifle. Whoops. Assault rifle. This thing has some minor details here, but still looks really nice. For whatever reason, I really do like this particular style of assault rifle. Again, I'm not really a weapons guy, so I don't know the actual type of assault rifle, so feel free to leave those in the comments if y'all know this off the top of your head. Or if you want to research it, that's fine too. But still a really awesome assault rifle. Very cool looking. I dig this thing. That's really all the weapons we get with this thing. Again, remember back in the vintage line, he was a vehicle driver, and traditionally they did not actually come with any accessories. So that's kind of why we, I guess, have it the way we have it here. Regardless, that's what we have. So let's take a look at the figure. I have spotted something that is already amiss, but I'm not going to point it out right now. But tell you what, if anybody... Nah, we're not going to run a special here. If anybody wants to chime in at this point in the video, in the comments section, if you can tell me what's wrong with this guy right away, I might see what I can do for you here. But as we go further into this, it's going to be void, so you probably won't get much here, but we'll see what we can do. Anyways, the detail work on this guy looks really nice. It definitely has the same vibe as that original vintage figure. Looks really nice. It's kind of a blandish looking figure compared to some of the rest of them, but for whatever reason, I've actually always liked this particular figure. I had him back in when he came out originally, and he was just a great all-around utility trooper. So it still holds up pretty well today for what it is. So some really nice detail work on his vest here. Flipping it over to the back, you've got some more really awesome detail work. Rotating him around so you can see some of that stuff. The helmet itself looks pretty nice. And you got the nice G.I. Joe logo on the sleeve there. Overall, really nice aesthetically. It looks really good. The orange and green work well together, so we'll give those some bonus points. It does work. So as far as the sculpting goes here, again, the head sculpt looks a little muddy paint-wise, but the actual sculpt itself looks really nice. I really like the way they've done the helmet here and the glasses and everything. It just looks pretty cool. Gives him a bit of mystery going on to him. So yeah. Anyways, articulation wise, the head does spin at 360 degrees and has a whole range of up and down motion there. So very nice. Traditional ball and swivel at the shoulder joint. Traditional ball and swivel at the elbow joints. We've got a swivel joint at the wrist. Doesn't look like we have any rocker. Oh, there we go. We do have side-to-side rocker on that thing, so that's cool. A little bonus point of articulation there. Standard waist twist or chest twist. For whatever reason, this guy's a little sticky and he's clicking, which is different than most of these. Those are usually pretty smooth. And he does have a little bit of the ab rocker motion, but not nearly as much as I was expecting out of this guy. Standard T-hook at the hip joints. Double knee joint. I can get the knee to bend there. Double knee joint. And traditional swivel and rocker there at the ankle joint. So all in all, pretty nice articulation on this guy. I'm not sure if that click thing is something to do with the way they're molding the figures now. Again, this is the first figure in Wave 7 of the figure subscription service. So I'll keep an eye on that for the second figure to see if it's there as well. This may just be a one-off kind of thing, so no big deal. I will point out that we do not have any holsters for his weapons, so he does have a cool sculpted pistol and holster here, but non-removable, so that's a negative there. So he unfortunately can't actually hold any of this stuff and get in the vehicle at the same time, so that's kind of a shame, but kind of what we expected. Again, it is a vehicle driver. so we don't usually get as much with them as normal. In case any of y'all haven't figured it out yet, what I have not pointed out is the fact that I do have 2 left hands on this guy. So that is what we were looking for a few minutes ago to see if y'all had spotted. It's a shame, and I may contact the company to see if they can send me a replacement. I've not done that in the past, and to be honest, it really doesn't bother me once I get it out of the packaging. Because most of the time it goes in a display and you will never know it. And if I can get them in the Desert Fox vehicle, again, you're not going to notice it just looking at them. So, I don't know. I may contact them, I may not. It's going to hamper us trying to do the some of the weapons here. So, I'm going to just stick his knife in his hand here, and then his really cool assault rifle. And then his pistol, we can try to shove in his back here somewhere. Might can stick it up under his vest there like that and have a hidden pistol. That works pretty well. So overall, excuse me, overall it's a pretty nice looking figure. Again, I was not expecting a whole lot because it is, again, a vehicle driver from the late 80s that didn't get a lot of attention, to be honest with you, and I'm actually really glad they decided to release this figure. I wasn't looking forward to him when he showed up on the original press release for inclusion here. You know, he's not one of those guys that kind of are awe-inspiring or anything like that, but the figure itself works really well. They've done a good job with the way they've done it here, and I am really impressed with the way it looks. So yeah, it is a really good basic figure. That's all the time we've got for today, so thanks for watching. Feel free to drop some comments down below to let us know what your thoughts are on Treadmark here. Do you like the way the figure turned out? Are you kind of all inspired by it or not? Is it just kind of a bland figure for you? Let the community know. Let us know in those comments down below. That's what they're there for. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to our channel, like us, share us, and be merry if that's your inclination, I suppose. And until next time, Yo Joe!